humans tend to think of ourselves as the dominant force on this planet. Well, we're not. In this grass here, in that stream, in the air, there are other forms of life that hold the real power. We usually think of all the small flying and crawling creatures as, well, just insects. Spiders are not insects, but they're more like insects than like us. We have skeletons under our muscles and skin. They wear their skeletons outside, combining support and body armor. When we knock down a spider web, we forget that there's a whole order of life which keeps insects at bay. They live everywhere, from the frigid top of Mount Everest to the burning hot Sahara. In their domain, there are only the hunters and the hunted. But the spiders, oh yes, the spiders are the toughest hunters of them all. An ant, a cockroach, and now a June bug, fall victim to a trapdoor spider. In a Florida forest, a harmless little beetle ambles along, minding its own business, and walks right into the arms of a female wolf spider. But all of a sudden, the spider seems stunned. Ah, the spider has met up with a bombardier beetle, an insect with a secret weapon. She crawls under cover, dragging her jaws on the ground as if to wipe off something that stings. Florida is the spider capital of the United States. Those spiders which hatched in the spring are adults now. Strands of gossamer signal the web of a female Nephila spider. It's mating time for the dragonflies. Like the spiders, these predators have been around a while too, at least 200 million years. A male jumping spider crawls up the sawgrass. The green metallic sheen on his jaws makes him attractive to the opposite sex. The dragonfly female snuggles up behind the male, and together they waltz over the water. There are 100,000 spiders per acre here, but none spins a more beautiful web than the orange garden spider. She walks only on the dry spokes, so she doesn't trap herself. The garden spider puts the finishing touch on her web, a crosshatch of silk that she combs into thick patches. It's a stop sign for birds and gives her a place to hide. The male jumping spider meets a female in the grass. He's walked onto her turf. Now he has to convince her that he is a mate, not her next meal. He waves his legs to start the courtship ritual. If he doesn't do it just right, she'll attack. In summer, the Everglades are flooded. The time is right for the insects who develop in the water. A dragonfly nymph that hatched last fall has reached its full size. It's big enough and hungry enough to take on a mosquito fish. Soon it will crawl up these plants and out of the water. It will become an air breather. When it's ready to fly, it will patrol these waters like a police car prowling its territory. The female jumping spider is almost ready for her last moult. The male will try to stay with her until she's done it. She will shed her outer skeleton, splitting it down the middle, her head emerging first, and finally, her legs. That dangling twig is a walking stick bug, a master of camouflage. But he's too close to the web of a Nephila spider. She's almost blind, has no sense of smell. But the walking stick can't fool her. He stumbles into her web. She stabs him with her fangs and pumps her venom into him. She grooms herself while she waits for the venom to paralyze the walking stick. The female spider is not thrilled by the male, but he's persistent. She can jump 40 times her own body length. So can he. While jumping spiders hunt only by day, when it comes to mating, time stands still. In the soft light of sunset, the dragonfly nymph leaves the water. It crawls out of the nymph shell. Now, it's an adult. The dragonfly is vulnerable. It takes a few hours for it to pump fluid into its wings. Once the wings expand, it must wait till morning for them to harden. Now, where did she go? Oh, she's up there. He starts the courtship dance all over again. Ah, she seems to like it. He inches closer. And closer. He tries once more. And she gives him the slip again. Oh, this time he has her cornered. She's spinning silk to cover her as she molts. He tries to help her slip into something more comfortable. In this state of undress, she cannot defend herself against predators. A Nephila spider waits in her web. At this height, she doesn't have to worry about the predators below. The red skimmer flexes its new wings, getting used to breathing air for the first time in its life. Tomorrow it will compete with the spiders for the smaller insects hidden in the grass. As the light dies, the daylight hunters go into hiding. An ogre-faced spider prepares for night duty. She pulls silk from her spinnerets with a comb at the tip of her leg. Spider silk is a liquid protein that hardens as it's stretched out. She's making her own version of a fishing net. A cockroach crouches below. She touches him gently, just to measure the distance. With her claws hooked into the corners of her net, she stretches it out. It's perfect. You know, we usually pay attention to those insects that give us trouble, like ants, mosquitoes, cockroaches. Well, cockroaches and spiders have a lot in common. They've both been around just about forever. And cockroaches, like spiders, can live almost anywhere and exist on almost anything. In fact, the American cockroach can live for a month eating nothing at all. Now, a single pair of cockroaches is capable of producing 400,000 in a year. Each one can move out of harm's way in 54,000th of a second. Cockroaches are the ultimate survivors. Unless they meet up with an ogre-faced spider. She measures once more, just to be sure. She pumps venom into the cockroach and wraps it up tightly. He can't escape. Now she pumps digesting fluid into her victim. Spiders are only able to ingest liquid food. The digesting fluid breaks down the cockroach's tissues. The meal takes a long time. Morning. A green lynx spider stands guard over 100 spiderlings. They've already gone through one molt. They'll go through 6 or 7 more before they reach adult size. A grasshopper comes by. Mama chases him away. The spiderlings are ready to move out. The grasshopper leaps right into the web of a garden spider in the shadowy undergrowth. The jumping spiders are still hard at work. She's struggling to get out of her skeleton. He pushes and pokes, trying to help out. Mating can only take place right after the molt. She secretes a substance after mating that covers her genital pore. Two nephilas seem to hang from a single drag line. Overnight, the female molted. Her discarded skeleton hangs above her. A tiny male runs back and forth, trying to figure out which skeleton contains the female. He may be small, but he's fought off many other males for this big chance to breed. Dragonflies are the hawks of the insect world. They zoom through the glades at 30 kilometers an hour, cutting a swath of death through the clouds of mosquitoes. A good rain is just what the mud dauber wasps were waiting for. They use mud to build their nests. When the ground is wet, it's easy for them to roll that mud into a ball to carry home. The dragonflies keep out of their way. They're no match for the wasps. The female carries home her mud ball and spreads it around to finish her nest. The dragonfly may not be able to kill a wasp, but it can manage a smaller dragonfly with no trouble at all. These dragonflies pack away many times their weight in insects. The mud dauber needs one more load. A few more daubs, and it will be picture perfect. She comes home with a big garden spider. She plucked the spider right out of its web and paralyzed it on the wing. She will lay her egg on the spider. When her egg hatches, the larva will have a supply of fresh food. Night falls. A bola spider spins one strand of silk. Droplets of liquid silk shine like glass beads. A male hawk moth smells something. The bola spider is producing a faint odor, the same irresistible odor given off by a female hawk moth when she's looking for a mate. She sets the line in motion. The moth can't resist. The line swings faster and faster until it matches the beat of the approaching moth's wings. She's got him. She reels him in like a fisherman hauling in a trout. This is not the embrace the hawk moth had in mind. And she'll take more before the night is out. Morning, and the orange garden spider sits patiently in her web, waiting for breakfast to be delivered. At the edge of a nephila web, a beetle struggles frantically. Any vibration will attract her attention. One scientist held a tuning fork against a nephila web, and the spider ran down to it and tried to wrap it and pump it full of venom. She's got him, but she might not want him. It's the bombardier. Yes, she lets him go. Super slow motion photography reveals the beetle emitting clouds of hot gas in extremely rapid pulses. An American scientist, Dr. Tom Eisner, discovered the bombardier has two small chambers in its abdomen, loaded with two types of molecules. The molecules are forced together in a tiny reaction chamber, and the result is a powerful chemical explosion. Spiders are not equipped to handle chemical warfare, but they can deal with just about anything else. The nephila repairs the damage done to her web. Other kills hang like trophies around her. She'll take anything that comes along. The red skimmer rises up on the warm air 15 feet above the forest floor and zooms through the glades, right into an orange garden spider's web. If the spider had no web, the red skimmer would be the victor. But that web is as strong as steel. By fall, the garden spider will die, but hundreds of her young will fly off on lines of silk to spin webs of their own in the new wilderness. We've known for a long time that spiders are an important force in the insect world. In forests, grasslands, and marshes, they play a big role in maintaining the balance of insect life, holding those insects which feed on plants in check. Now, scientists are beginning to wonder if they could play a similar role in our world. In the past, we've dealt with plagues of insects in our gardens and fields by spraying them with chemicals. Now, we've known for some time that some chemicals can spoil our food and endanger many forms of wildlife. Spiders may just provide a safe biological alternative. They won't ever be much use in large cornfields or wheat fields. They don't like to live in areas where the soil is turned over too often. But it's believed that if farmers learn to let spiders patrol their gardens and their orchards, there'd no longer be a need for fast-acting but dangerous pesticides. Oh, there's still a lot of work to be done on that, but one day, perhaps, man and spider just might weave new ties in the new wilderness.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Lorne Greene's New Wilderness. And here are some of the other titles available in this award-winning series. Lorne Greene's New Wilderness. All these videos have a suggested retail price of only $14.95 and are available in stores everywhere. Ask for them by name. Lorne Greene's New Wilderness from Prism Entertainment.